Blog Talk Radio.
Unmarket Your Business, the podcast. Born out of the need to share strategies and techniques that really work to market your business. Think yellow page ads and cold calls are your only choices? That's so last century. You're about to learn tested, tried and true marketing techniques you can apply and master. Ones that feel authentic instead of salesy. Strategies that are true to who you are and how you want to present yourself to your ideal clients. Let's join our host, Carol Joyce Dunlop, in the studio now and allow business success to move forward. Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's Carol J. Dunlop, your online wow strategist and #1 Amazon International best-selling author. Sorry about the delay there. It was giving me some issues. First it wouldn't connect me and then it dropped me. Hey, so for some reason it don't like me today, but that's okay. I am here, you are here, and how are you doing today on this, I guess, cold, crazy weather, nor'easter thing going on that we have hitting the East Coast? And then I have to tell you, yesterday Atlanta got hit with another thing. We had this huge water main break, and the whole county was like either out of water, had to boil water, couldn't get down one of the major thoroughfares. We have Buford Highway. It's crazy, 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 crazy. So all kind of things going on. I hope on your end it is going well. But I saw that up in some of my clients are up in the Philadelphia area and up north and stuff, dealing with the snow. I mean, it's crazy, right? It is so crazy. But I figured if you're dealing with the snow, then you probably need your attention focused somewhere else. How about focusing on marketing your business? So that's a good thing to do, right? So that's what I'm here to help you with. And we're going to be talking about today unmarketing ways to create your podcast. So, I've been talking about podcasting for the last couple weeks, but virtually, for the past 10 years or so, I've just been totally into podcasting because it is a way to get your business out there in front of the people who want to connect with you and who want to utilize your products, your services, they want to be a part of your tribe, your peeps, and people who want to work with you. So podcasting is a great way to do that because you get in there and you become like a good friend, a girlfriend, if you would, the kind that you can look to give you great advice and help you out when you need it. It's always there for you. That's what kind of podcasting does for you. It helps you to form an emotional connection with the consumer or your listeners. Maybe it's business people, but you look at it, you're still talking to a person. It doesn't matter if that person is a VP or a CEO or a manager or just a worker in a company. They're still a person, and you connect with people on a personal level using podcasting. So we're going to talk about how to do that in a way that is beneficial to you. So if you don't know, why would you want to do podcasting anyway? I know it may scare the bejesus out of you thinking, oh, my God, I got to start a podcast, spend all this money, and then it's going to be a lot of time. No, and no. If you do it like I do, it doesn't take you a whole heck of a lot of time. I mean, my show, I intentionally decided to do only 30 minutes because I think that our attention span, we can't think of something longer than that, especially if you're listening to something. I can only listen to something for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending if it's really, really good. If I go on a webinar and they're just jaw-jacking and just going on and on, I have to tune out. I just can't do it. I have too many other things to do, and you're busy, right? So 30 minutes is good. That works for me. And if it doesn't work for you, you want to do longer, hey, as long as your audience is into it, child, do it. Go ahead and do your thing. Also, it doesn't cost you a lot of money. Blog Talk Radio has a free service that you can sign up for where you will get 30 minutes a day. You can broadcast every day if you want, and you will, people can connect with you live. They can call in. They can talk to you. It archives your podcast episode, and people can listen to it on demand anytime they want to. So that's free, but they have, they have premium, so you can go up to, I think the next level is like $39 a month, or all the way up to $100, or if you're a bigger company or you just want to really do this doggone thing, you can spend, a couple thousand a month. So it depends on your level, what you want to invest. And as far as time goes, 30 minutes doing it, setting up the show, pretty much if you know what you're doing, like what you're talking about, who your audience is, and what you're going to offer them, even, the three things I always talk about, then it's not going to take you that long to set it up. You get a subject and you see what points you're going to cover, and boom, you just go and you talk. Or you invite a guest on and I hate this word, it's not really a word, conversate. You have conversation with people and you interview them, see what their thing is all about, and get introduced to their audience. It's just so many things you can do, right? So many ways you can do it. So let me give you a couple stats if you don't know already. Apple has surpassed 1 billion subscriptions for podcasts via iTunes. 1 billion subscriptions. Now, there are 2 billion people on Facebook who and 1.5 billion of them utilize that platform every day. But we've got 1 billion subscriptions to podcasts via iTunes that millions of people tune into, probably a couple billion, tune into podcasts. Now, during an annual survey in 2014, 15% of adults listened to a podcast in the month prior to the survey in 2014. 15% of adults. That's pretty eye-opening. I wanted to share another stat with you. Hold on one second. I got to find it because I wrote it down. I wanted to share this with you and show you how prevalent podcasts are in our society today. So you really, really need to think about it. Just like you think about, Facebook ads, getting on Facebook, not just doing the ads, but just being a part of the Facebook environment. You need to think about podcasting. Okay, so Infinite Dial. Ignite, that doesn't sound right. Infinite Dial, there's a report they do every year, and they show that 24% of Americans listen to at least one podcast every day, and that this was just last year. 24% of Americans listen to at least one podcast every day. Compare this. 23% of Americans use Twitter, and 20% read a newspaper. So that's pretty high. 24% of the people, listen to a podcast every single day, one podcast or another. They listen to something every day. So if they're listening to these things, 24%, that's a good, if we're talking about, how many people are on this planet, and how many people are in the United States? How many people are on the continent, North American continent, if you want to go down that far? How many people are in your city? People are listening. They're looking for podcasts that interest them, that help them solve a problem or give them a laugh or make them feel good. They're out there looking for it. So why not start yours? Why not put your podcast out there? Put yourself in the midst of that, and then stand out, because everybody's not doing it. Everybody in your industry or niche is not doing a podcast. So you can be one of the first. I led a masterclass today, had a great time with it, and the ideas that came out of that for podcasting, it was totally awesome. And half of the people that were on there had never thought of doing a podcast before. So hopefully I changed their minds. Now I'm going to do that live encore again tomorrow at 11 a.m. And for some reason, I want things to be March the 11th. It's not March the 11th. I'm sorry. It's March the 9th. Let me change this right now. It's March the 9th, and that is Friday, March 9th, tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm going to do, that's right. Good. Save that. I changed that in the description so you'll know. So tomorrow I'm going to do a live encore of that masterclass that I just did today that was great. And in this, you'll discover how to choose a topic and format that resonates with your audience, the equipment and software you need to create studio quality sound or video without breaking the bank, how to build a community that supports you by caring and sharing your show for optimum exposure, and also how to launch, then syndicate your show so your audience connects with you easily and consistently. And we'll talk all about that tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, and you can sign up by going to bit.ly/podcast mclass encore. So podcast mclass, CLASS, encore, bit.ly/podcast mclass encore. So go sign up for that, and you'll get the rundown on podcasting and how you can put this into your marketing toolkit and be successful, figure out what your audience wants. It was great today, and it'll be great tomorrow also. Can't wait to see you there. So, excuse me, as you're thinking about podcasting, I wanted to give you a little bit of background on the first podcast that I did, which was the Fit for Life Radio. Now, when I started Fit for Life Radio, I chose to do it live using this platform right here, Blog Talk Radio, as my delivery platform, because it's an excellent choice for podcasters who want the feel of podcasting, a live show, complete with the audience and everything. Now, usually, if you're most likely listening to this on demand. Now, I do the show live at 1 p.m. on Thursdays, but most people don't come on live. They actually listen. They download it and listen to it later, which is just fine because you can listen to it anytime you want. But this is one of the simplest ways to begin podcasting, and this is my favorite podcasting platform. This format is live audio, meaning that me, the host, I broadcast live in real time to an audience listening at the time of the broadcast. Now, some of you I know are listening live also. And if you have a question, you can call in right now, 323-642-1701, 323-642-1701. I'm here to answer your questions about podcasting, and I love to talk to you. Now, once you finish your episode, it's complete. The great thing is that these are converted into MP3s, which is an audio file that can be stored and played on the Internet. And it's accessible to you, your guests. Your guests can tell their followers to go, hey, listen to this thing. You can, access it at any time. And in addition, anyone who has the link to the show, which is generated automatically when you create the episode, can access the episode, what we call on demand, anytime you feel like it. If you're just sitting at home, being a couch potato, you can listen. If you're working, you can listen. If you're driving to work or you're driving to your next client appointment, you can listen. If you're working out, you can listen to it. The sharing option leads to more sharing and more exposure for your show. So isn't that cool? So this is, like I said, Blog Talk Radio is free to get started. It does have premium levels, but, hey, why don't just sit around and say, hey, I want to start something that's going to help me market my business, and then you got a perfect audience, right? A perfect platform right here. Take advantage of it, because this is International Women's Day. Isn't that awesome? Women are doing amazing, wonderful things, and you might as well go ahead and start podcasting. Get your voice out there, stand out from the crowd, and start profiting. Now, you may think, hey, how can I come up with a topic? Well, you can brainstorm topics you could discuss that will be interesting to your listeners, your audience. Just start out by thinking of the questions your clients and ideal prospects ask you all the time. You can probably think of at least 10 frequently asked questions about your industry, a particular approach to doing something, or expected outcomes from working with you. Now, this is a great foundation for your show topics. Just use that. You can get more specific by listing solutions you offer through your business. Do you have a process or a system that helps clients perform more efficiently, gain clarity, learn faster, improve their knowledge, or impact others in a greater way? Then list the steps in your process. Each step could be the topic of a podcast episode. What advice do you give prospects and others who want to pick your brain? These are the tips you share right off the top of your head without even thinking about it, because that's how well you know your stuff. You probably have dozens of these tips. Look over your list of frequently asked questions and think of the tips you share in response. For example, prospects often ask me about the best way to conduct market research. My simple reply, ask. I could do an entire hour podcast episode about how and who to ask to get the market research needed to launch your new product. You kind of get the idea? Of course, you should plan to make each episode a fun learning experience for the listeners by offering engaging topics. Now, see how simple that was? Think about the things that your people, your ideal prospects, customers, and clients come to you and ask you about, those could be topics for your show. Think about the things that you share with people, the tips and information that you give to people just freely. Just if they ask you a question, how do I so-and-so, or how can I, and you just tell them that. Each of those things could be a topic for your podcast episode. Now, the unmarketing ways to create your podcast. Let's get into that. Now, you know all about what a podcast is, what it does, how you can use it to market your business. But what are some other ways that you can use to unmarket your business? Because that's what this podcast is all about, unmarketing ways to market your business successfully. So first of all, let's say that you are a YouTube person and you want to do YouTube Live. So you could come on once a week, and actually I do a YouTube Live on Mondays. It's a Monday motivation thing where I give one specific piece of advice about marketing your business and staying motivated to get the job done. And you could break that down into like maybe 2 or 3 subheads or sub-tips, but the one main focus. And it only takes me, like I stay on, at the most will be 15 minutes, usually about 10 minutes or so. So you will come on YouTube Live. This could really be your podcast. That could be your podcast that you're doing. Join me for my YouTube Live podcast or my broadcast, whatever you want to call it. Get people tuning into that. Build your YouTube audience. Then another thing that you could do, you probably hadn't even thought about it, is your Facebook Live. Do you do Facebook Lives often? You come on and you talk to your people in your group or on your Facebook page? Well, you can take one or both of them depending on the content that you have in the group stuff, because usually group stuff is very specific and you do it as a benefit to the group itself. So maybe, let's say you have a training that you do for your group once a week. I do that for a couple of groups. I have the Social Media Secret Sauce. I do that training on Mondays. And then the Unmarket Your Business Facebook group, I do that training on Fridays. So either one of those, because they're both part of the content, the overall content that I talk about on marketing your business, I could take them and create them into a podcast. And it could either be video or it could be audio. I'll get to that in a second. So one more thing I wanted to throw out there. What about your Instagram story? Now there's a feature on Instagram, I hope you know, that you can archive the story or you can download it to your phone or iPad or whatever device you're using to do your story on. So you could archive it and you could save it. So let's say you save that video. So now if you want to do an Instagram story once a week at a special time, and I also do that on Mondays after the Facebook training, I come on and I do a little bit of a different take than I did for the YouTube Live so I can share it with my Instagram audience. So I come on and, again, 10 minutes or so. I don't go that long. You can take that video and you can download it and save it. And then now you've got either 3 different videos or you've got one video. You're doing a YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Instagram story. So you can take either of those videos and strip the audio out of them, and then that can be the audio for your audio podcast. Or you can repurpose those videos and turn it into a video podcast or do it every week to a general audience. And there are a number of places that you can upload your video podcast to, because you could do YouTube takes video. So let's say you do an Instagram story, you recreate that, you download that video onto like your iPad or something, and then you go to your YouTube channel and you upload it to your YouTube channel. Now you've got a video. Now, if you want to get fancy with it, Instagram right now is just it's portrait, so it's taller than it is wide. And the standard format for YouTube is wider than it is tall. So if you upload your Instagram story straight from, you just download and save it, then what's going to happen, you're going to have those black bars on the side. So you could get real fancy and you could create a template that kind of markets your business. Remember how they used to do Periscope and they'd say, connect with me on Twitter, this is my Periscope panel. They have like these graphics on the left and the right. You could do something like that with your Instagram and just showcase, download my free opt-in, or which would be a good thing to do. Follow me on Twitter. Following you on your other social media accounts is good, but I'd rather have those people on my list. So I would suggest that you get your opt-in together and put put it on either the right or the left side and say, download my free, whatever it is, click this link. And you can make a bit.ly link, and the people can, and then also put it in the comments so people can click on it directly, or they can copy it and paste it. Write it, from looking at it. And then you're putting people, that way you're building your list. Because the thing is, the whole reason that we're doing this whole podcasting thing is to build our list. And the whole reason we're building our list is what? To get people to know us, like us, trust us, and then start buying from us. So if we get, the more people that we get on our list, that's the more people that we can market to. The more people that we have to connect with, to talk to put the word out there that, hey, I do this. And if you want to do this too, then I can show you how. I can teach you how. You can pay me to work with you. Because we all need to eat. That's what marketing is about. Marketing is about eating, basically. It's about telling people, hey, I'm here, and I would love to work with you. I want to be of service to you. I have content that you want and need and are looking for, and the solutions that I have will solve your problems. So pay me. So in essence, that's really what you're doing. Let's get real about it. You're not just out there marketing just for the sake of marketing. You're marketing so people understand what you're about. You're marketing so that your unique, perfect, ideal audience is out there and they actually connect with you and they want to buy from you. And not just buy from you one time. They want to buy from you over and over and over again, become brand advocates, and tell others to buy from you. So that's how this whole thing works. Everybody, but you got to start somewhere. If you're ready to get your podcast going, hey, I want you to tune into that class tomorrow. And again, you can get there by going to bit.ly/podcast mclass encore. Now, it will be me live, so you can ask questions, because we had a great time, put ideas out there, and I, said what I thought about the ideas, and everybody was able to help and kind of chime in. So I want to help you with that too. So definitely come on. It'll be 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Can't wait to connect with you. And I want to hear about your podcasting idea. What is it? What do you want to do with this thing? How are you going to use this podcasting platform to get the word out about what you do, your business, how you're going to do it, who you help, all that good stuff. Because in the end, it's just about really, breaking through, standing out from the crowd and getting the message out to the right people who want to work with you. Because you can help them. And there are people looking for you. Yes, we want to make money and all of that, but there are people that are looking for you. They want to work with you. They want to be part of your team, part of your tribe, and they have a success journey that they're on themselves, and you can help them with that. So if you don't get this thing out there, then you're kind of doing them a disservice, because it is your duty to get out there and help others. Can't keep all your talents and your gifts to yourself. God gave them to you for a reason, and you need to go out there and help others. Kind of pay it forward, because that's what I'm doing. I'm giving you this information so that you can go out and help others by podcasting and getting your voice out there, because your competition is not doing it. So if you do it, everybody else is going to look at you like, oh, wow, what's she doing? Let me get over there and see. And you can really, really make a mark. Because I've got over, of the podcasts that I've done, I've got over 500,000 downloads. Isn't that awesome? With the podcasts that I've done and started and helped people with, and maybe even more for some others. I just know my own. Over half a million. Isn't that awesome? I think that's friggin' great. I love it. So I would love to have you on the masterclass tomorrow. Remember, all you got to do is put in bit.ly/podcast mclass encore, and I will see you there. And in the meantime, if you have any questions at all tomorrow in that masterclass, I'll answer them. I'll answer them for you. Or you can go to csicorporation.com, go to the Contact Us page, and send me a question. I will be sure to answer it for you. That's all I have for you today. Be sure to join me again next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, live or on demand if you're listening on demand. And I'll help you with another piece of marketing or unmarketing your business. So until next time, get to marketing. It's your duty. Thanks for listening. We truly appreciate it. For information about guests, products, or services that were mentioned in this episode, log on to our website at www.csicorporation.com/unmarketing. To learn more, get a glimpse of our upcoming schedule, and join the unmarketing nation of entrepreneurs who are using marketing techniques that work right now. Until next time, keep moving forward.